The USS Horizon drifted in the quiet of space. The alien fleet had retreated, leaving behind the glowing craft that had helped humanity survive. The crew was exhausted, every muscle aching, every mind heavy with what they had experienced. Yet even in their weariness, there was a sense of awe. They had faced an enemy beyond imagination, and they had survived. Captain Laura Benson walked slowly across the bridge, her eyes on the alien craft outside. It floated silently, almost peacefully now, as if it had acknowledged humanity. "We survived because of courage and intelligence," she said softly. "But the risk, it was enormous. We cannot forget that." Alex Harper nodded. "Yes, Captain. The fleet is holding together, but many ships are damaged. Crews are tired, scared, and shaken. But they are alive. And that is what matters." Olivia Grant studied the energy readings. The alien craft, it is still active. It's not threatening us, but it's not leaving either. It is observing. And I think it is learning from us as much as we learned from it. Jason Miller stood near the observation window, staring at the glowing craft. "It's beautiful, and I feel like it understands us. Like it's recognizing that humans are different. We don't just survive. We adapt. We think. We create." Lara watched him silently. She could see the truth in his words, but her mind was filled with questions. "Do you think we can trust it?" she asked quietly. Dr. Grant shook her head slightly. "Trust is a word for friends. This craft is not a friend. It is intelligence beyond our understanding, but it has helped us. And that means we have to be careful, not reckless. Humanity can rise, but we cannot be careless." Jason smiled faintly. "Maybe that's what makes us human. We take risks. We learn. We survive." The crew began working on repairs, but the alien craft remained at their side. It pulsed softly, flowing with energy that seemed to stabilize the Horizon systems. Shields that had been damaged now glowed with renewed strength. Weapons recalibrated themselves. Faster and more precise, the ship was stronger than ever before. Laura walked to her captain's chair, her mind heavy with responsibility. She had broken the rule by allowing the crew to use the alien craft's energy, but it had saved them all. She knew she had made the right call in the moment, yet the danger had been real. "We have survived because we acted carefully, with courage and intelligence," she said aloud, almost to herself. Alex Harper approached. "Captain, we need to decide what to do next. The alien fleet is still out there. They could return at any time. And the craft, it will not leave unless we do something." Laura thought for a moment. "We cannot destroy it. That would be reckless. We cannot fully control it either. But we can study it carefully, slowly, and always with caution. Humanity has learned that curiosity is a gift, but it must be balanced with discipline." Dr. Grant looked up. "I agree. We can learn from it, but we must respect its power. We cannot tamper recklessly. The rule exists for this reason. We will continue learning, but we will also respect the limits." Jason watched the craft pulse, feeling a connection he could not explain. It's like it chose us. It saw our courage, our intelligence, and it helped. Humans can survive in ways no one else can. Maybe that's why it stayed. Lara nodded slowly.
"Yes, Jason."
"Humanity is unique. We do not just react. We think, we adapt, we take risks, and we survive. That is our strength." Over the next few days, the crew studied the alien craft carefully. Small, controlled experiments were conducted, sending pulses of energy and observing the response. Each interaction was cautious, measured, and respectful. There was only one rule of Earth's fleet: do not tamper, yet they chose to. Captain Laura Benson stood on the bridge of the USS Horizon, staring out at the blackness of space. Tiny stars twinkled in the distance, but none of them seemed alive. The ship was quiet, too quiet, for a fleet that had been exploring the outer edges of human-controlled space for months. "Captain," Lieutenant Jason Miller said, stepping up beside her. "Sensors picked up something. It's strange." Laura turned and looked at him. He was young, eager, and always ready to push boundaries. She could see the excitement in his eyes. "Show me," she said. Jason tapped on the console. A three-dimensional image appeared in front of them. A derelict craft, large and triangular, hovered near a small planet. Its surface was dark and covered with strange symbols that none of their linguists could read. Dr. Olivia Grant, the ship's xenotechnologist, joined them. Her eyes widened. "That's not like anything we've seen before. It's not from any known species. It could be very old or very advanced." Laura frowned. "Do not tamper," she said firmly. "That is the only rule of Earth's fleet. We observe, we do not touch. This ship could be dangerous. Even looking too closely might trigger something we cannot control." Alex Harper, her second-in-command, leaned against the console. He was taller than Laura and always calm, but his dark eyes held a spark of curiosity. "Captain, we can scan it from here. We can understand its systems without getting close." Laura shook her head. "We scan, yes, but we stay away. That is the rule. It exists for a reason." Jason stepped closer to the display. "But what if we could learn something new? Something that could help humanity?" Dr. Grant frowned. "Jason, curiosity is good, but this is not a science lab. This is alien technology. One wrong move, and it could destroy the entire fleet. Curiosity is powerful, but reckless curiosity can destroy us. We must balance curiosity with discipline. That is how humanity will continue to rise." "Doctor," Grant added, "and we have learned that sometimes intelligence recognizes intelligence. The craft helped us because it saw potential in humanity. That is rare. That is why we survived. That is why we grew." Jason smiled, feeling hope for the first time in days. Humanity has faced death and danger, and we survived, not because we were the strongest, but because we were clever, because we adapted, and because we never gave up. Laura looked at the crew, tired but resolute. "Today we survived. Tomorrow we explore. Humanity has risen, and we will continue to rise. This is just the beginning." The alien craft pulsed softly once more, its glow gentle. It seemed almost approving, as if it had recognized something in humanity that others had not. It had tested them, and they had passed. The USS Horizon and its fleet began to move, slowly and carefully. Repairs were complete, energy stabilized, and the crew was ready to continue their mission. Humanity had faced intelligence far beyond their own, and had survived through courage, discipline, and ingenuity. Captain Laura Benson stood on the bridge, staring at the stars. "Humans are not the strongest species, but we are adaptable. We are intelligent. We are brave. That is what makes us special. And that is why we will continue to survive, no matter what challenges come next." Jason Miller watched the alien craft one last time before turning to the controls. "We have learned, we have grown, and we have survived. That is what it means to be human." "Doctor," Grant nodded, "and we will continue to learn. Humanity will not stop. We cannot stop. We are explorers, thinkers, and survivors. That is our nature." Alex Harper smiled faintly. And now we know we are not alone. The universe is full of intelligence, and humans can stand among it. We can rise to any challenge as long as we are clever, brave, and united. The crew of the USS Horizon prepared for the journey ahead. They had faced the unknown, and they had survived. Humanity had been tested and had emerged stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. The alien craft remained nearby, a silent guardian or teacher, a reminder that curiosity and courage can open doors, but that every door comes with risk. Humanity had faced the test and they had passed. And as the Horizon sailed into the stars, the crew knew one thing for certain. Humans were capable of greatness. They were capable of survival. They were capable of rising above challenges that no other species could. The universe was vast and full of danger, but humanity had learned its first lesson. Intelligence, courage, and determination could shape the future, and humanity was ready. For the first time, the stars seemed brighter. Humanity had survived. Humanity had grown. Humanity had risen. And the adventure was just beginning. Laura looked at her crew, weighing the situation. She trusted them, but she had to enforce the rule. We will observe from a distance. No one goes near it. No one touches it. Is that clear? Yes, Captain, Alex said, but she could hear the hesitation in his voice. Yes, Captain, Jason repeated, but his eyes lingered on the alien craft. The crew began scanning the derelict ship. It was old, its hull covered in what looked like scratches and dents, yet the material seemed stronger than anything humans had made. Energy readings were faint, almost as if the ship were sleeping. Captain, Dr. Grant said, pointing at the console, I am reading unusual energy fluctuations. They are small, but they are there. The ship is not completely inactive. Laura frowned. Keep monitoring. Do not interfere. Jason leaned closer to the display, his fingers itching to touch the controls. I wonder what it could do. Laura turned sharply. Jason, step back. Now. He hesitated, then moved, though a part of him resisted. Doctor, Grant shook her head, frustrated. I don't like this. There is something about this craft, it's almost like it's waiting for something. Days passed. The USS Horizon stayed in orbit around the planet, keeping its distance but observing the derelict ship. The alien craft remained still, but occasional pulses of light flickered along its surface. No sound, no movement, just small, quiet signals that humans could barely detect. One evening, while the crew was in their quarters, Jason sneaked into the lab. The door was locked, but he had his ways. He was curious. The energy readings had grown stronger, and he could not resist. Dr. Grant had left a small interface device in the lab, a tool to analyze the ship's emissions without touching it. Jason's hands shook as he connected the device to the main console. Just a small test, he whispered. Energy surged through the device. A soft hum filled the room. Jason's heart raced. He pressed another button. The hum grew louder. The lights flickered. He froze. The hum stopped. Silence. Then, a pulse of blue light shot out from the interface. Jason stumbled back. The ship on the display glowed in response. The derelict craft had reacted. Jason ran to Dr. Grant. It responded. I think it's alive. Doctor. Grant's eyes widened. Jason, you broke the rule. You don't know what you did. You could have triggered something catastrophic. Laura was called immediately. She arrived on the bridge and looked at the readings. The energy spikes were clear now, much stronger than before. Jason, what did you do? I wanted to see if it was active, he said. It responded. Laura took a deep breath. The rule exists because we cannot know the consequences. You could have put everyone in danger. Yet, it seems to be aware of us. Alex Harper stepped forward. Captain, the readings suggest it might not attack unless provoked. If we understand it, maybe we can control it. Laura shook her head. That is exactly what the rule forbids. We do not control, we do not touch, we watch. But the crew could feel the change. The ship pulsed again, brighter this time. Sensors recorded something moving inside the hull, tiny flashes of light, like neural signals. The craft was waking up. Doctor, Grant studied the data with wide eyes. It's learning. It's learning from our scans, our energy signatures, maybe even from Jason's experiment. It's adapting. Jason felt a mix of fear and excitement. Do you realize what this could mean? If we figure out how to use it, we could advance humanity by centuries. Laura looked at him, her eyes cold but thoughtful. Or we could destroy it and everyone on this ship. That is the risk you took. That night, Laura could not sleep. She stared at the stars from her quarters. The alien craft floated silently, almost as if it were watching her, too. She knew the moment humanity stepped too close to the unknown, there would be no turning back. The next morning, the crew woke to alarms. The alien ship was glowing brighter than before. Energy readings spiked across every deck of the USS Horizon. Lights flickered. Gravity shifted slightly. The hum that had been faint now echoed through the corridors. "Captain, it's reacting to our presence," Jason yelled. It's awake." Laura took command immediately. "All decks report in. Shields up, prepare for defensive measures." This is exactly why the rule exists. Alex Harper worked at the controls, trying to analyze the spikes. It's not attacking, not yet, but it's scanning us, learning us. Every movement, every signal. It's absorbing. Dr. Fall. Grant added, "It's more intelligent than we thought. This is not just a ship. It's something alive. Or it contains intelligence we can't even imagine." Laura's face tightened. "No one goes near it. Do not interact with it. Maintain distance. We follow the rule. That is our only protection." But deep inside, even Laura felt a flicker of curiosity. The unknown had a pull she could not deny. Then, Jason made a mistake. While trying to adjust a secondary scanner, his hand slipped. The device he was holding touched a panel on the main console. Energy surged through the floor. A pulse of light shot out toward the alien craft. The ship responded instantly. Blue-white light exploded from its hull, washing over the USS Horizon. The bridge shook. Crew members fell to the floor, struggling to maintain balance. The hum now filled the entire ship, louder than anything they had heard. Jason looked around, terrified. "Captain, I didn't mean to..." Laura cut him off, her voice firm despite the chaos. "Step back. Everyone, brace yourselves." Dr. Grant monitored the readings, her face pale. "It's not attacking, but it's communicating. That pulse, it's a message. Or a warning. Something is coming. Something beyond our understanding." The bridge was silent, except for the hum of energy and the soft beeping of consoles. Every crew member stared at the alien craft, glowing with power. Laura's voice broke the tension. "We warned them. We followed the rule. We did everything right, but they chose to ignore it. Now we must deal with what comes next." Outside, the alien craft hovered, alive with energy, its surface rippling like water. For the first time, the crew realized that whatever humanity had awakened, it was no longer dormant. It was watching, it was learning, and it was ready. The USS Horizon drifted in space, caught between curiosity and danger. on the edge of a discovery that could change the future of humanity forever. And somewhere deep inside the alien craft, something pulsed with recognition. Humanity had broken the rule, and now the consequences were about to begin. The USS Horizon's crew could not sleep. Every corridor hummed with energy, and every sensor blinked with readings they did not understand. The alien craft continued to glow, a steady pulse that seemed alive. It was no longer dormant. It was awake, and it was aware of them. Captain Laura Benson stood on the bridge, staring at the glowing shape outside the window. She could feel a weight on her chest, the kind that comes from knowing something dangerous is very close. "All decks report," she said firmly. Her voice shook only slightly. "Shields at full capacity, Captain," Alex Harper replied. His hands moved quickly over the console. "Energy readings are off the charts. The alien craft is scanning us, learning our ship. It's absorbing everything we do." Dr. Olivia Grant looked at the display, her brow furrowed. "It's more intelligent than we thought. It's almost like it's alive, or it has a mind inside it." The pulses from Jason's experiment triggered something it was waiting for. Jason Miller, sitting quietly in the corner, could not stop looking at the craft. He felt guilty, but he could not hide his fascination. "It's beautiful," he whispered. "It's like it's trying to communicate with us." Laura turned sharply to him. "Jason, do not speak like that. You almost destroyed the ship. You almost destroyed us all." Jason swallowed hard. "I know, Captain. I wanted to understand it." Laura sighed. "Curiosity is a dangerous thing, Jason. We must respect the rule. We observe, we do not tamper. That is the only way we survive." But the alien craft did not follow rules. It floated silently, pulsing with energy, and its surface rippled like liquid. Every time the USS Horizon moved, the craft seemed to react. Lights brightened, energy spiked. It was alive in ways the crew could not understand. Dr. Grant moved to her station. "Captain, I think it's learning from us. The energy pulses we emitted may have triggered its neural patterns. It's studying our patterns, our behavior, maybe even our thoughts. It's adapting." Alex Harper looked at her, concern in his eyes. "If it's learning, then we are in its experiment. It's testing us. Every move we make, every scan, every adjustment, it records it all. We don't know what it will do next." Jason could not hide his curiosity. "Do you realize what this could mean? If we figure it out, we could unlock knowledge beyond anything humans have ever had. We could understand technology far beyond our imagination." Laura shook her head. "Or we could die trying." "That is the risk you took, Jason. That is the risk the fleet faces now. And that is why the rule exists." Despite the warning, Alex could not stop himself. He moved closer to the main console and began running calculations. "Captain, if we interface with the ship carefully, we might be able to use it to defend ourselves. It could give us tactical knowledge, maybe even weapons far beyond what we have." Laura's face tightened. "No, we do not interfere. We observe, and we survive. That is the rule." But the crew could feel the change. Systems on the horizon flickered, lights dimmed and brightened, gravity shifted slightly. The hum of the alien craft echoed through the ship. It was no longer just a derelict ship. It was a presence. Over the next few days, small things began to happen. Crew members reported strange visions, flashes of light in the corner of their eyes, and a sense that someone or something was watching them. Some felt dizzy or disoriented. Even the artificial intelligence on the ship behaved oddly, misreporting simple readings. "Doctor, Grant studied the data with growing concern. The craft is affecting us, not physically, but mentally. It's influencing our neural activity. The crew might be seeing things that are not real. Or worse, it's trying to communicate in a way we cannot understand. Jason was the most affected. Every time he looked at the craft, he felt a strange pull, like it was calling to him. "Captain," he said one morning, "I think it wants us to understand it. It's like it's showing us something. I don't know what, but I feel it." Laura's face hardened. "That is exactly why we must stay away. That is why the rule exists. The moment we try to understand it, we risk everything." Alex Harper stepped closer to the display. "Captain, it's been observing us for days. If it is intelligent, it knows we are curious. If we do not act, it might see us as a threat. If we act carefully, we might be able to learn from it safely. It's already learning from us. Why shouldn't we learn from it?" Laura clenched her fists. "Because it is not ours to learn from. It is alien, unknown, dangerous. Every decision to interfere risks lives." But the crew could not ignore what was happening. Jason and Dr. Grant began small, careful experiments. They did not touch the craft, but they sent small energy pulses, hoping to see if it would respond. Each time the pulses grew stronger, and each time the craft reacted. It started with a flicker of light on the ship's surface. Then a wave of energy washed over the horizon, shaking the floors and walls. Crew members grabbed rails to stay upright. Lights flickered. The hum grew louder, more insistent. "Captain!" Jason shouted. "It responded!" "It's alive." Laura took a deep breath. "Step back. Everyone step back. Do not provoke it further." Alex moved quickly, scanning the data. "It's not attacking, it's communicating. Or at least attempting to communicate. These energy pulses, if we interpret them correctly, could be a message. It could be a warning." Dr. Grant's eyes were wide. "I think you are right. Look at the patterns. They are repeating. It is structured. That means intelligence. That means it is aware of us, and it is trying to interact." Laura's jaw tightened. "And that is why we do not interfere. We cannot control it. We cannot predict it. Any attempt could destroy us all." But curiosity had taken hold. Jason could not stop himself. Every moment he stared at the glowing ship, he felt it pulling him in, calling him. He studied the patterns, traced them on his console, and tried to make sense of them. "You see, Captain," Alex said quietly, "it is teaching us. It is offering knowledge. We have a chance to advance humanity beyond anything we imagined. But we have to take the risk." Laura's eyes hardened. "Or we have a chance to die. Every rule exists for a reason. That reason is now staring us in the face." Then the alien craft pulsed again. This time the energy washed across the horizon in waves. Systems glitched, gravity shifted. Crew members stumbled. The hum echoed in their heads. And then a holographic image appeared in front of the bridge. It was faint, flickering, but unmistakable. It showed an enormous alien fleet. Hundreds of ships moving with precision through space. The ships were not like anything humans had ever seen. Their shapes were sharp, angular, and filled with glowing lights. The image shifted, showing planets being scanned and destroyed. Jason gasped. "They're coming. They're watching us. They know we are here. Doctor, doctor, doctor." Grant stepped back. "This is a warning. The alien craft we found was not abandoned. It was a signal. It called us here to show us this. We are being watched by an armada. Alex Harper's hands shook slightly. If that is true, we have to prepare. We can't outrun them. We have to fight, or they will destroy everything. Laura's face was pale but determined. We will follow protocol. Shields up. Weapons ready. Full alert. And above all, we survive. The rule exists for this moment. We must respect it, even if it means we are weaker. Humanity survives through discipline, not recklessness. But even Laura could feel the tension building. Every crew member was affected by the alien craft's energy. Some were scared, some excited, some both. Humanity had encountered intelligence beyond anything they had imagined, and the stakes were higher than they had ever been. Jason stared at the alien image again. Captain, what if we could use it? What if we could harness its power before the Armada arrives? Laura shook her head. No, that is exactly what we cannot do. We do not tamper. We survive. That is the rule. But deep down, even she wondered what might happen if humanity reached just a little further. The alien craft pulsed again, and the USS Horizon trembled. The warning was clear. Humans had awakened something ancient and intelligent, something that was watching. And now there was no turning back. The fleet prepared for the unknown. Every sensor read strange patterns. Every crew member felt the pull of the alien craft. They knew that whatever came next would test humanity in ways they could not imagine. And in the quiet corners of the ship, Jason and Dr. Grant continued their small experiments, unable to resist the lure of the unknown. Humanity had taken its first step toward something greater and more dangerous than anyone could predict. The alien craft continued to glow, silent but alive, waiting. The USS Horizon floated silently near the alien craft. Outside, the blackness of space seemed darker than usual, as if the stars themselves were holding their breath. The alien craft glowed steadily, pulsing in a rhythm that made the whole ship vibrate. The crew could feel it in their bones. Captain Laura Benson stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the glowing ship. Every alarm, every sensor reading told her that something was changing. The craft was no longer just an object. They had awakened intelligence that could think, plan, and respond. And it had done something they did not yet understand. It had summoned a fleet. Alex Harper approached her quietly. Captain, the alien fleet is closer than we thought. Our sensors can see hundreds of ships approaching. They are massive, and their formation is precise. This is not a warning. This is a threat. Laura's face was pale, but her voice was steady. Prepare for engagement. Shields up, weapons online. Every deck on alert. We do not panic. We survive. That is our mission. Dr. Berber. Olivia Grant stood at her console, studying the energy readings from the alien craft. Captain, the craft we found, it is trying to help us. I know it sounds impossible, but it is providing us with energy readings, tactical information. If we can understand them, we could use it to defend ourselves. Laura shook her head. We cannot use it. That is the rule. We observe, we do not tamper. Jason Miller, standing nearby, whispered, But Captain, if we don't use it, we won't survive. The alien armada will destroy us. Laura looked at him, seeing the fear and hope mixed in his eyes. She wanted to believe in the strength of her crew, in the rule, but deep inside, she felt the pull of the unknown. We will follow the rule, she said firmly. We do not interfere. We survive through discipline, not reckless actions. But humanity did not wait. Jason and Dr. Grant began analyzing the alien energy carefully. They were cautious this time, sending tiny, controlled pulses toward the craft, just enough to trigger a response without overloading the system. The craft reacted. Lights flickered across its surface, forming patterns they could barely understand. Grant leaned close to our console. It's giving us information. Tactical positions, energy flows, it could help us fight. It's like it knows the fleet is coming and wants to assist. Jason's eyes widened. This is it. This is what we've been waiting for. If we can interpret it correctly, we can save humanity. Alex Harper approached the display. Captain, I think it's safe. We have to take the chance. The fleet is almost here. We can't survive without help. Laura took a deep breath. Every instinct told her to stop them, but she could not deny the truth. Fine, she said finally. But be careful. One mistake, and we are all dead. The alien craft pulsed brighter, almost as if it understood. Energy flowed through the horizon, synchronizing with their systems. Shields strengthened, weapons recalibrated, engines responded faster than ever before. The crew could feel the difference. For the first time, they had a fighting chance. Jason grinned, a mix of fear and excitement in his eyes. We're ready. Let them come. The first ships of the alien armada appeared on the horizon's sensors. They were massive, much larger than anything humans had built, and they moved with precision. Thousands of smaller ships followed, forming a wall of destruction that could crush Earth's fleet in minutes. Laura's hand went to the communication panel. All ships, this is Captain Benson. Engage defensive positions. We fight together. We survive together. Prepare for combat. Alex Harper coordinated the fleet. Shields holding. Weapons online. Energy flows from the alien craft are stabilizing our systems. We have a chance. Doctor. Grant's hands flew over her console. The patterns from the craft. It's predicting the enemy movements. We can use it to outmaneuver them. But we have to trust it. And we have to trust ourselves. Jason looked at the glowing ship outside. It's helping us. It chose to help. We can do this. The first shots were fired. Laser beams and energy pulses streaked across the void, colliding in brilliant explosions. The alien ships moved with precision, but the horizon and its fleet were ready. The energy from the craft flowed through their weapons, increasing their power and accuracy. The battle raged. Ships were hit, shields strained, alarms blared. Crew members worked tirelessly, following orders and using the new energy guidance. Humans moved faster, thought quicker, and coordinated better than the alien ships expected. Laura watched from the bridge, her hands gripping the railing. We hold. We fight. Humanity survives. Jason piloted a small fighter through the chaos, guided by the energy patterns from the craft. He dodged enemy fire, struck at weak points, and saved several of their larger ships from destruction. Dr. Grant monitored the energy flow. Captain, we can focus the pulses into a defensive shield. It could protect the fleet from the next wave of attacks. Laura nodded. Do it, but carefully. We cannot overload the system. The shield formed, glowing around the fleet, and the alien ship's attacks bounced harmlessly off. Humanity had turned the tide. For the first time, the alien armada faltered. Alex Harper led a strike team, using the information from the craft to find the enemy's weak points. We hit them together, he said. One coordinated strike. We can force them to retreat. Jason's fighter struck first, guided by the craft's energy. Explosions lit the void as enemy ships were destroyed or disabled. The fleet moved as one, humans working with alien technology they barely understood, but trusted instinctively. Dr. Grant guided the energy flow, keeping shields up and weapons powered. It's working. The craft is helping us predict their movements. We can win this. Laura barked orders, her voice steady and strong. Every ship, every fighter, follow the patterns. Trust your training. Trust each other. We fight for humanity. Hours passed. The alien fleet regrouped, but the humans held their ground. Every move, every attack was precise. The energy from the craft flowed through their systems, amplifying human skill and intuition. Finally, the alien ships began to retreat. One by one, they withdrew, leaving the humans in control. The Horizon and its fleet had survived, not through brute force, but through intelligence, courage, and the subtle guidance of the alien craft. Laura exhaled, her body tense with relief. We did it! Humanity survived. Alex Harper smiled faintly. Not just survived. We proved we could adapt, think, and fight in ways they did not expect. Humanity is stronger than they believed. Doctor. Bogder. Grant looked at the glowing craft outside. It helped us. It showed us that humans are not just another species. We can learn, adapt, and even surpass expectations. But we have to be careful. This power is dangerous if misused. Jason Miller stood quietly, staring at the pulsing ship. We did it. Together. Humans, the fleet, and the craft. We won. Laura nodded slowly. Yes. But remember, Jason, this was not just about winning. This was about survival and discipline. We were given help, but we still had to fight. And we cannot forget the rule. Curiosity is a gift, but recklessness is deadly. The crew began repairs and assessment. Ships were damaged, but functional. Crew members were exhausted, but alive. They had faced an enemy they never imagined, and they had triumphed through ingenuity, courage, and cooperation. Outside, the alien craft floated silently, its glow softening. It had given humanity a chance, and it had shown that intelligence, even alien intelligence, recognized human potential. Lara stood on the bridge looking at her crew. Today, we survived. Tomorrow, we must prepare. Humanity is not the strongest in the galaxy, but we are the cleverest. And that may be our greatest strength. Jason approached her quietly. Captain, do you think it will come back? Laura studied the craft outside. Perhaps, but if it does, we will be ready. We have learned, we have grown, and we have survived. That is what it means to be human. The crew of the USS Horizon continued their work, tired but resolute. Humanity had faced a force beyond comprehension, and they had survived. They had broken the rule, yes, but they had done it with courage and intelligence, proving that humans were more than fragile beings in the void. And somewhere, deep inside the alien craft, the faint glow pulsed once more. It had tested humanity, and it had recognized them. Up for the first time, the crew understood something profound. Humans were not just survivors, they were adaptable, intelligent, and brave. They were capable of rising to challenges no one else could face. The battle was over, but the story was just beginning. The alien craft remained, silent yet alive, a reminder that curiosity and courage could open doors, but that every door in the universe came with risk. Humanity had survived. Humanity had won. And humanity had begun to change. The craft responded, sharing patterns, energy flows, and strange data that Dr. Grant began to decipher. Alex Harper worked closely with her, coordinating the fleet to monitor for any signs of danger. We have to be ready if the Armada returns, he said. But we can also learn. We can grow stronger. Humanity is capable of more than we realize. Jason spent long hours at the observation deck tracing the patterns of the craft's pulses. Slowly, he began to understand its rhythm, the way it responded to their actions. It's almost like it's teaching us, he said. Not with words, but with energy. It's showing us possibilities we never imagined. Dr. Grant smiled faintly. Yes, we can learn much from this, but only if we are careful. Every gift comes with risk. We must respect it. Laura watched the crew work. She felt pride and relief. Humanity had faced something beyond understanding and had survived. Not because of technology alone, but because of courage, intelligence, and cooperation. Humans had risen to the challenge. Days passed, and the alien craft continued to glow, silent but observant. It pulsed slowly, almost as if it were breathing. No attacks came. The alien fleet had not returned. Humanity had survived. Humanity had learned. Lara called the crew to the bridge. Today we rest, but tomorrow we prepare. We cannot be complacent. The universe is vast, and humans are not the only intelligent species. But today we have proven that we are capable. We can adapt, we can survive, and we can grow. Jason looked out the window at the craft. Do you think it will ever leave? He asked quietly. Lara considered it. Perhaps. Or perhaps it will stay, observing humanity from a distance. Either way, we have learned something important. Humans are not just survivors. We are thinkers, creators, and fighters. And that is what makes us strong. Alex Harper nodded. We have also learned that rules exist for a reason.